Welcome everyone to another video on the highest mileage 350Z in the UK, and this week we're going to be giving the car a bit of a facelift. Now, although for the age, I think the 350Z is a really good looking car, there is a few bits which let it down, one of which is the headlights. I think all of the chrome in here really does let down the front end of the car, so I'm going to try today to try and split these headlights apart, paint the insides of these black, possibly change the bulbs, we'll see if I get them in time, and then get them back together and hopefully give the front end of the car a bit of a lift before we tackle the other bits on the car which I want to change. So the first step that we've got to do is get these headlights off the car. Let's go. So this is one of those cars where the bumper has to come off to get the headlights off easily. I know you can kind of half drop it to remove these headlights, but I thought it's just easier instead of trying to fiddle around in there too much. Just get the bumper off and then we know exactly where we're at for the future and we know exactly what it takes to remove it. So practice makes perfect. So there was 6 clips on top. I think there was 6 bolts, or supposed to be 6 bolts underneath. A few of those actually turned out to be cable ties, and 3 bolts in each wheel arch as well to remove the bumper. So it's not an easy one to get off, but obviously we got there pretty easily in the end. So once the bumper was removed, it was plain sailing from there. 4 bolts in each headlight and then just unplugging it and it slid straight off. Once that was done, there was 5 screws in the back of each which actually attached the lens to the headlight, and then we're on to the next step of splitting these headlights apart. Okay, so we've now got all of the headlights removed from, or both of the headlights removed from the car, and all the screws removed from the back that hold the lens to the headlight unit. Now what we need to do is soften the glue which holds the lens in place, and this is where I've got a problem. So this is my little kitchen and this is my even littler oven, and as you can see there is no chance in hell that these are ever going to fit in here. This is the way that they recommend that you do it, I think, because it gives a more even heat. So let's try taking these somewhere else, hopefully with a bit of a bigger oven that we can fit these in. So we set the oven to 100 degrees, you don't want it too hot because you will melt it, and we put the headlights in the oven for 10 minutes. I'm going to leave a link in the description for the video which I followed, all of my hints and tips on this. The video is actually really good and informative, and the only bits that went wrong were the bits which I didn't follow this video, so check that out in the description if you are looking at splitting the headlights on your 350Z. So after 10 minutes in the oven, we popped them out, then popped them on the table and started to pull the lens away from the headlight unit. We were advised not to use a screwdriver to pull these apart, because otherwise you start bending the plastics and things like that and start causing damage, which is going to be a problem when you start to reseal them. So once we got the headlights back to our place, it was time to disassemble everything that we wanted to paint on those headlights from chrome to black to give that much stealthier look. So we took all the screws out of everything we could and tried to take everything away from the unit itself, which was removable. Now again, I'm going to be straight and honest with you about every single part of this. There's a bit of the headlight that we probably shouldn't have painted, which is the bit that we struggled to get away from the full unit itself. This is because it uses the reflectors to enhance the light output, so this means that our full beam now is hugely reduced. So I've got to try and find a way to restore that, which I think I can find in a different sort of LED bulb, but I'm not 100% sure whether it is completely fixable or not. The paint inside on this was actually pretty simple. It was a light mist of primer just to give the black something to adhere to, and then a few coats of satin black to give that much cleaner look. Once that was all dry, it was then just a case of reassembling the headlight and reattaching the lens, which is not as easy as what you think, which I'll run you through in a second. So what I did for resealing the lights, I know it's not that pretty, but it's running a bead of tiger seal around where the lens attaches to the unit. I didn't actually want to do it where you'd see it on, under the bonnet, because I want to try and keep that clean look. So when I did open the bonnet, it didn't look rubbish, but it may have turned out this wasn't the best idea, as you'll see later in the video. So stay tuned to see what happened there. Okay, so the headlights are on and they're looking 10 times better than what they were before. I think they look really cool and stealthy, but the car is absolutely hanging out its arse. So let's go get this clean. So in case you guys didn't know, we have teamed up with Matt Armstrong to give you guys a range of products which you can use at home and deliver those easy but professional standard results. And even though we cleaned our car in the rain, it definitely needed it, definitely looked much better afterwards, and meant that we could crack on with some other jobs after that was done. But anyway, if you guys want to check out this range of cleaning products, I will leave a link in the description for you to purchase these and check them out on Matt's website. So now the car was cleaned, we could pull it inside and we could start looking at some of the other bits and bobs we wanted to do. One of the things that was winding me up on this was the brightness of the rear lights. They just looked too red, if that makes any sense. So we tried applying like a tint film to these, which, as you'll see in a second, didn't turn out brilliantly. Matt in this moment decided he was a full-on professional rear light tinter, and turns out that he doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
Oh, I did f*** it. I melted it.
It actually don't look that bad either.
I know, and on that last bit I f***ed it. Wow.
Let me see.
Look.
Oh, for f***'s sake, Matt. Typical. Now, unfortunately, that was not the only fail of this video, but the next job for us was these door handles. As we'd already painted the wheels from silver to black in a previous video, I'll leave a link in the top right hand corner now. These door handles, because these were silver as well, were all starting to stand out like a sore thumb. So these door handles were actually super easy to remove. You had 3 bolts on the driver's side, 2 on the passenger side, and they just pulled out. Now it's just a case of scotching the handles over, giving them a good thorough prime to make sure that the black colour was going to stick properly, because this is quite a hard wearing area, and then just a few coats of black, and then letting them cook in front of the diesel burner for a while to make sure the paint was hardened before we refitted them to the car. So you may have noticed in a previous clip we removed the number plates in the wash process, and that's because Dali from Deutschland Designs has hooked us up with these sweet 3D number plates. I'll leave his Instagram on the screen right now. Go and check him out if you need any plates for your car.
So, quick turn of events. Chris was doing some sideways action with his headlights off, then went to turn his headlights back on, and he's lost all headlights. Like, no. You've got full beam, side lights, indicators, but no actual dip beam. We've checked the relays in here, which is like underneath the wiper cowling, and the relay's working, the fuses are fine, but both dip beams have gone. The switch is sending power to the relay, and then there's no fuse, which is gone as well. But so, next up is checking the headlights. It seems weird that both of them would go though, so Chris is on the job.
Sorted it, I've got it.
It is only, let me just check this, 1:30 in the morning as well. That is, yeah, that is full of water. There's going to be a circuit board in there, which is janky.
Not anymore.
Split it open and just have a look how janky it is.
Yeah, that'll be the one.
There's your problem.
You don't mean it's
what's
so
there is skeggy sea.
It's like a sponge as well, so it's all soaked into it.
Well, I don't know if Chris has put the video out of him resealing the headlights.
I think this is this video.
He obviously did a crap job. Yeah.
That's that.
Chris is going to get the airline and he's going to airline it out, and then we're going to try. Let's do it. I think it's absolutely janky.
This OT 24/7 A start.
That's been sitting in a pond. Chances of that working.
Alright, let's go. That one was soaking as well.
Here we go. Yay! Yes! We've got to do it on this side though. So we've got to do the same on that side. fixed.
I actually cannot believe that we managed to save these units from the bin, because I thought, to be honest with you, they were trash. So shouts out to Matt and Liam for trooping with me until about 3 in the morning getting these sorted. So I know in the previous clip I said I didn't want to put an ugly seal on these headlights. I ended up putting another bead of tiger seal all the way around, and hopefully that's it sorted this time. I double checked to make sure they're working properly, and then it was bolted them back on for the second or possibly third time, and then fingers crossed they are actually done now. So it was time to complete that stealthy look for the 350Z and have something done on a car which I've never had done before. So Liam from Ice Detailing came round and tinted the windscreen and the side and back windows on our car. And very kindly, he also let me have a go under his instruction, and I'm not going to lie, I did make a bit of a mess of it, but it's one of those things, I think it's, you know, like anything, it's a skill, you've got to have a go to learn, but in this case I thought I'd just leave it to the professionals. So if you guys are local to like Leicestershire, Nottingham area, go and check him out. I'll leave his Instagram down at the bottom of the screen right now. Just, yeah, go pop him a follow. So the final thing that I wanted to try and improve was the finish of the lens on the headlight. So a quick whip over with some 3000 grit and a heavy cut made them look much better. Massive shout out to Liam at Ice Detailing for tinting the windscreen and all the rest of the windows on the 350Z. It's looking super stealthy now and ties in really well with the other black accents that we've done, like the door handles, you know, the inside, the headlights, and all these other little bits. So it's looking a lot stealthier now and looking a lot more modern than it was at the start of the video. I'm really happy with the way things are coming together on this. But that's it for this time. Make sure you smash on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on further progress on the 350Z. We've still got loads more work to do, and I'll catch you in the next video.